Shirvya?
Hello. Hello.
Start. You can start.
കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നു.
കേൾക്കാം പറഞ്ഞു.
Okay. Good evening all. Myself Aishwarya, fourth year BA LLB student. I am here to present the review on the topic Directive Principle of State Policy and Fundamental Duties. Article 35 to 51 under Part 4 of the Indian Constitution deal with Directive Principle of State Policy. They are borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland, which has copied it from the Spanish Constitution. What are Directive Principle of State Policy? Subtle Committee in 1945 suggested two categories of individual rights, one being justiciable and other being non-justiciable right. Justiciable right are known as fundamental right and non-justiciable right are known as Directive Principle of State Policy. Dpsc are ideals which are meant to be kept in mind by the state when it formulates policies and enacts laws. There are various definitions to Directive Principle of State Policy. They are an instrument of instruction which are enumerated in Government of India Act 1935. They seek to establish economic and social democracy in the country. DPSPs are ideal which are not legally enforceable by the court for their violation. What are the features of DPSP? DPSP are not enforceable in a court of law. They were made non-justiciable considering that the states may not have enough resources to implement all of them, or it may even come up with some better and progressive laws. It consists of all the ideals which are the state should follow and keep in mind while formulating policies and enacting laws for the country. DPSPs are like collection of instruction and direction which are issued under the Government of India Act 1935 to the governors of the colonies of India. It constitutes a very comprehensive economic, social, and political guidelines or principles and tips for the modern democratic state that aim it towards inculcating the ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity as given in the preamble. Adding DPSP as all about creating a welfare state which works for the individuals for the country, which was absent during the colonial era. Next slide is about classification of Directive Principle of State Policy. In Indian Constitution has not originally classified DPSP, but on the basis of their content and the direction, they are usually classified into three types: Socialist Principle, Gandhian Principle, and Liberal Intellectual Principle. Article 38, 39, 39A, 41, 42, 43, 43A, and 47, which follows the socialist principles. These principles follow the ideology of socialism. Gandhian Principle. These principles reflect the program of reconstruction of ideology propagated by Gandhi throughout the national movement. In order to fulfill his dreams, some of his concepts have been included in the form of DPSP. Article 40, 43, 43B, 46, 47, and 48 follows Gandhian principles. Next is Liberal Intellectual Principle. These principles follow the liberalism ideology. Article 44, 45, 48, 48A, 49, 50, and Article 51 follow liberal intellectual principles. Next slide is about articles. Article 36. Article 36 is about definition of state. In this part, the state has the same meaning as in Part 3. Directive Principle of State Policies are addressed to the state. The term state has been defined by Article 36 to have the same meaning as given in the term in Article 12. Therefore, the term states not only include the legislature and executive, but it also includes its agencies and instrumentalities. In Keshavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, the Supreme Court held that the term state includes judiciary also. The courts and the statutory tribunals would be equally under a duty to implement these directives. Next article is Article 37, exclusion of judicial review in relating the subject of Part 4. This article mentions the two important characteristics of Dpsc. It is not enforceable in court of law, as we said before in the introduction, and they are very basic and essential for the governance of the authority. Part 4 of the Constitution shall not be enforceable in any court of law. Next is Article 38. Article 38 states to secure a social order for promotion of welfare of the people. And next is Article 38 Clause 1. State shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social and economic and political shall inform all the institutions of the national life. And Article 38 Clause 2. States shall in particular strive to minimize the inequalities in income and endeavor to eliminate inequalities in status, facilities and opportunities not only among individuals but also among group of people residing in different areas or engaged in different vocations. It brings into 44th Amendment 1978. Next article is Article 39. Certain principle of policies to be followed by state is defined in these articles. They are equal right to men and women, distribution of ownership and control of material economy, equal pay for equal work for both men and women, to protect health and strength of workers, to give sufficient opportunities and facilities to children, etc. are explained in this section, in this article. Next is Article 39A, Equal Justice and Free Legal Aid. It brings in the 42nd Amendment 1976. Kishore versus State of Himachal Pradesh, Supreme Court held that legal aid is a right under Article 21 and 39A. Next is Article 40. Article 40 deals with organization of village panchayat. 73rd and 74th Amendment of Constitution, which are related to Panchayat Raj and municipal corporation, respectively, later ended up as the constitutionally backed framework for the principle mentioned in Part 4. Next article is Article 41, right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. Next is Article 42, about provision for just and human conditions of work and maternity relief. Next is Article 43, living wage, etc. for workers. States shall endeavor to secure by suitable legislation or economic organization or any other way to all workers, agriculture, industrial or otherwise work, a living wage condition of a work ensuring a decent standard of life and full enjoyment of leisure and social and cultural opportunities. In particular, the state shall endeavor to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperative basis in rural areas. Explained in Article 43. Next article is 43A. It brings into 42nd Amendment 1976. It's about participation of workers in management of industries. And Article 43B. promotion of cooperative societies. It introduced in 97th Amendment. Article 44 about Uniform Civil Code for Citizens. And next is Article 45. Bring in the 86th Amendment 2002. It's about provision for free and compulsory education for children. And Article 46. Promotion of educational and economic interests of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other weaker sections. And Article 47. Duty of state to raise the level of nutrition and standard of living and to improve public health. And Article 48, Article 48 is about organizing agricultural and animal husbandry. And next is Article